Hey there, my name's Glendon. Welcome to my 11,000 day Minecraft Forever world. I just upgraded to 1.21.10, so I have all the new copper blocks, items, and the copper golem. In the background, you can see my Ark, which is my mob museum. And just like Noah's Ark, I've collected 2 of every mob in the game. Today I'm going to add the copper golem to the Ark, as well as the happy ghast, which I missed adding in the last update. But there's also a lot of other small tasks and improvements that I would like to make to my Ark, so I'm going to make a whole video of it. Before we get started though, I should tell you a bit about my Ark. I won't go into too much depth because the 4th video on my channel gives a full tour of the Ark as well as a few stories about making the Ark. Essentially, I have collected 2 of every mob in the game, like these ocelots. However, if a mob has multiple skins like these foxes, I have only collected 1 of each. If a mob has more skins, like these llamas, I've collected 1 of each, so total of 4. There are 4 decks to the Ark. The main deck is bare. It is spaced reserved for future expansion, and we're going to need that today for the happy ghasts. The second deck houses mostly overworld land mobs and villagers. The third deck houses mostly hostile mobs. And the 4th deck is mostly aquatic, insect, and flying mobs, and everything else that didn't have another spot to go in. I have created this to-do board to explain what I would like to get done today, including adding the copper golem, adding happy ghasts, preparing a spot for the zombie horse, as well as the nautilus and zombie nautilus. We need to zombie-proof the entrance. I recently had a zombie siege walk up this ramp here into the Ark and kill a llama, of all things. I need to replace said llama. I would like to replace one of my spiders with an invisible spider. I need to replace one of the phantoms which died. I want to add a dried ghast to my ghast stall just for kind of decoration. I need to silence one of my zombie villagers. I use a Vanilla Tweaks mod to silence individual mobs, and I missed one, and the guy's continually groaning and whatnot. It's driving me nuts. I would like to replace my parrots with wild parrots. I think it would just add a bit more life to that stall. I would like to add switches to my charge creeper stall, and I'll explain that later. I want to replace one of my pillagers with a pillager with a banner, so we need to find one of the pillager squads and capture a flag guy. I need to unstuck a turtle who's stuck in a pond, and I need to unstuck the bogged, which are stuck on a vine. But yeah, so those are today's tasks. Let's get started with the copper golems. The copper golems are going right here. We're going to steal half of the camel's stall. When I was building the Ark, the camels and the sniffers had not yet been released, and they looked like huge mobs, so I reserved 2 spots, or 2 stalls for each of them. And in retrospect, I don't think they need 2 stalls, so we're going to claim back some of the space here, and we're going to create a spot for our golems. So we have our copper golem stall all decorated out in copper of various aging states. And I've created a little activity for our copper golems. Basically, they can take out the copper from this chest and put it into this chest here. And there's hoppers all along the back here, which will just funnel it back. So there's kind of an endless loop. And some light might be a little bit cruel, but it'll be fun to kind of see them move around in their stall. So let's go ahead and create our golems. There we go. All right, so I know there's actually 4 states of copper golems. However, I've already created the normal copper golem. And let's go see him right now. So our 4th copper golem is currently in the same stall as the iron golems. And the reason he's in here is I would like the iron golems to give him a little flower on his head, little poppy. So that is a mechanic. I believe it's really slow though, so I might be waiting a long time. It may not even be done by the time this video is done, but we'll see. Hopefully we get a flower, and then once we do, we can migrate him down to the other end where the copper golem stall is. All right, we're going to mark the copper golems done. Next, I think I want to work on zombie proofing the entrance. I don't want to be here too long. I'm scared another zombie siege will trigger and I might lose more mobs again. So, to explain what happened last time, basically I have enough villagers in here that it counts as a village. Either a zombie spawned along here and came up this walkway, or it spawned on the roof, dropped in, and came in from the top. But either way, a zombie made it about here, which is in view of the trader llamas here. And basically the llama spit on a zombie. Zombies attacked. By the time I discovered what was going on, I'd already lost the cream trader llama. So that's the one we have to replace. So I think there's two things I need to do. One, I'm going to zombie proof this entrance here. I'm going to put some sweet berries down with some carpets over top. And then also I'm going to light up the roof. And then basically I shouldn't have any more zombie sieges. We'll see. Alright, so let's take out this row here. Yeah. We're going to take out this row here. We'll collect the blocks. I'm going to lay down some podzol. And then some sweet berries. Now, I don't have carpets right now. For now, I'm just going to put trapdoors. I'll come back with carpets in a bit. But zombies will be reluctant to walk over that now. I know it's still possible for them to nudge each other over, but it'll be a lot more difficult. And then down below here, I'm going to cover up the podzol. Yeah, because that looks ugly. And we're just going to cover this up with some more trapdoors. There, that looks fine. And let us go up top and have a look at the lighting. As I understand it, zombie sieges can only spawn where light is 0. All right, so yes, every square that's marked in yellow has no light. We're going to use some lichen. And if I put it there... Ooh, that's almost perfect. Yeah, so if I just go along here... We'll just add enough. I don't want a crazy amount. Alright, I think that covers up all the spots. Just use Cheetah Cam to do a flyby. I'm not seeing any yellow. Alright, so I'm going to lay down a bit more lichen just so it doesn't seem so patterned, a little bit more random. Not too much though, because I don't want to be a crazy amount up here. Alright, I think we have the roof here sufficiently lit. I've added a little bit more extra just so it wasn't so random. But I think it looks good. I've also added a couple boats up here in preparation of catching a new phantom for my phantom stall. Alright, we can mark zombie proofing the entrance done. I think I want to work on the llama next because that was kind of related to the zombie proofing. Let's go get a tan trader llama. And I actually have one, but it's 20,000 blocks out. So let's take a trip to the nether. Alright, we are at my ancient city, which I am currently excavating to give it a sky. This is kind of one of my side projects. I mine out a chunk at a time to expose the ancient city. I come here when I want to play some Minecraft, but I really don't want to think, and I just want to dig. Here he is. All right, so I'm going to have to break this boat, and I'm going to need some leads to get the llama. All right. You come with me. We're going on a boat trip. Perfect. Did you drop your lead? Okay, let me get in the boat. One quick nether trip, and we will be at the Ark. In, sir. All right, replace llama done. 3 tasks done. Let's do one more easy one, and then we'll go for one of the more difficult ones. Let's unstuck a turtle. All right, this turtle has been stuck in this pond or in this fence. I'm not sure which it is, for the better part of a couple years. Let's figure this out. I think my preference is to make the pool bigger. Let's take out... And I just walked on the eggs. That was not smart. Let's not do that again. Okay, so if I take that out, that, and that... Okay, now what are you stuck on? All right, unstuck turtle. Let us now move to preparing spots for the zombie horse and the nautilus. I need to move several of my stalls to create the ideal spots for those 2 or 3 mobs. So let me explain what needs doing. Oh. Are you stuck in the boat? You're stuck in the boat. Come. You need to stay out of the light, little guy. Perfect. Perfect. And I'll bust the glass once he's down here. So, let's go get him. Let's get you out. All the way. Here goes everything. In we go. Sneak out. All right. That worked. I need to bust the boat and name tag him. Silence. Perfect. Do I want the boat? This is a bad idea. All right. 2 phantoms once again. All I need to do is repair the floor now. Alright, I was supposed to be moving mobs, but we got our phantom. So now let's start preparing spots for the zombie horse and the nautilus. So this is the spot I have picked for the zombie horse. I would like him next to the skeleton horse, but we currently have a mule in this stall here. So my plan is to move the mule over here. I basically decorated this stall. It's an empty stall. The decorations are not important. We can take them out. All right, we have our stall waiting for the zombie horse. I kind of just decorated it with kind of random green blocks. I don't necessarily have something that represents zombie flesh as well as bones did for the skeleton horses. So, but I think that works. And our mule has been moved across the aisle and has a new home. And progress update with our copper golem. He still does not have his poppy, so we are still waiting. All right, zombie horses are taken care of. Let's find a spot for the nautilus and the zombie nautilus. All right, we are on the bottom deck of the Ark, and these are the two stalls which I would like to place the nautilus. So the slime here, I want to move upstairs with the other hostile mobs, and I will show you the spot in a moment. This spot here, these two cells, were reserved for the Elder Guardian, and I was originally going to put them in this space, but then other things happened, and I had to put other mobs down below. I won't get into that today. The other video explains it. But yeah, so the Elder Guardians actually ended up down here, so I didn't have to deal with the mining fatigue. And so, yeah, it doesn't have to affect this space here, but I'll shrink the space up above and make space for the nautilus. And I have a chest full of milk just to deal with that mining fatigue. All right, so the slime, and honestly, I'm a bit apprehensive of moving the slime because out of all the mobs that I've collected for this Ark, it was only the slimes that actually killed me. And that's a bit embarrassing to admit, I realize. But yeah, so as I was getting them in there, I was putting them in there with a minecart, and I accidentally fell in myself, and then I wasn't able to get myself out, and was trying to throw an ender pearl, but they kept jostling me, so I couldn't aim, and yeah, they got me. So anyway, they're going to come up around here, up to the deck above, and this is the hostile mob deck, and we're going to clear out this space here for them, and they will be across from the creepers. So let's get prepared to move the slimes and prepare the stalls for the nautilus. So as you may have saw, we were successfully moved 2 of the slime to their new stall. However, we lost the little guy. He basically fell down the stairs and died. But I secured a new slime, or a soon-to-be slime. We just need to use a potion of oozing. And then those are the wrong size. Oh, I did not anticipate that. Why are you in the glass? Let's just break out this glass. I've had to do that anyway. Perfect. Your name tagged. The others should eventually despawn, I think. Let's put these guys in. What else? Let's use some more glass. And we are left with 3 slimes. Perfect. I didn't die. So further, we also have the stalls for the nautilus set up. Or I guess emptied. So this was the former slime block. And this was the former other half of the Elder Guardians. So this here is a tunnel that I will eventually use to bring the nautilus in here. The only other thing I can do today is maybe waterlog it, but not critical. That can actually wait. Yeah, so that is ready to go, waiting for the next update. Preparing for the nautilus and zombie nautilus is complete. Let's do a few easy tasks. Maybe unstuck a bogged. So here are my bogged, and they are currently stuck on that vine there. I have vine growth turned off in my world. So I think if I destroy the top vine right there, they should fall off, and I'm hoping they're okay. Alternatively, I could destroy the leaf block, but I think I prefer to destroy that. I think it's easiest to do that from the outside. If I use Cheaty Cam... Oh boy. Let's give ourselves some light. I think it's this block here. It could be several deep, though. We'll see. That was it. It doesn't look like that worked. I think I'm going to try and destroy the leaf block next. So let's put that back and that back. Let's go 2 higher. This one. I need a light here. Okay. And this one. And they're still bouncing on that vine. 2, 3. Oh, one over now. Okay, it looks like they are free. And they are free. Cool. Doesn't look the greatest, but unstocking bog is done. Let's find the noisy zombie villager. This one could be a bit difficult. So I'm pretty sure it's on this side of the boat. And now I use a mod from Vanilla Tweaks that if you name tag a or any mob with a name tag with silence me on it, the mob will no longer make sounds. And you can imagine how noisy this would be if I did not silence most of these zombie villagers. But I know for a fact I did miss one. I don't know if this is going to work. What I can try is doing this. Silenced, 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 silenced. Are you silenced? That one there. I think you're it. This couldn't have been that easy. Just have to wait for him. Silenced. Come on. Waiting. Do I hear it? I think that was it. I can't believe how long I suffered with that, and it was that easy. Good grief. Alright. Zombie villager silenced. Let's add some dried ghast decorations to our ghast stalls. So the Ghast have the largest stall in my arc. They actually take up 8 stalls. Basically, yeah, 2 by 2 by 2. And this stall is unique in that I set up an optical illusion that you can kind of see the nether side of the ark. So you can kind of see on the second floor there, everything is made with basalt, which is my nether section of the ark. But if I use Cheetah Cam and actually go up here, you can kind of see this is all blank. It's made up with the same kind of stalls, but there's nothing in there other than the gas. And when we go to the nether side, you'll see the exact opposite, where there will be mobs in here, nether mobs, and it'll look like you can see down here in the overworld. In fact, there are 2 different stalls and 4 gas, but yeah. So what I would like to do is just add a ghast, a dried ghast, right there. Yeah, just as if you would find in the nether, between the bones. Yeah, so let's just see if we can do this without getting fireballed. I don't like how he just came down like that. All right, our dried ghast. Just want it right there. Perfect. All right, overworld side done. Let's head to the nether. Up and around. What are you doing? All right, we are on the nether side, and as you can see, we now have the nether mobs here. And again, you can have the 2 gas, and it looks like you can see down to the overworld. So just as we did in overworld, I want to add the dried gas down there. Just do it right here. All right. Same exact procedure. Because the illusion only works if it's mirrored on both sides. Right there. There we go. Perfect. All right, dried ghast added. Next task. Let's take care of that pillager. This is our pillager stall. We actually have to get rid of one of these guys, and then we will replace them with the captain. So, I don't know quite how to do this. I think I'm just going to take one out with an axe. We'll see if it works. I'm going to have to keep them straight. That was easy. I just have to make sure I don't drop into one of the stalls. Yeah, that will work. All right, and then this. That works. All right, we're just going to jump in this guy's boat and fall through. And we should be able to just row him in. We'll get shot, but it'll be fine. Yep. All right, just turn on hitboxes and let's take out the boat. Oh, they're both in it. Ouch! How the... Okay, that was unplanned. They're still after me. I hate Vexes. Alright, how did that happen? Alright, that was a bit scary, but I basically relogged and they are no longer aggressive. So I was reading a bit online that may have been a bug, kind of just like a universal aggression, even when they can't see you. Not too sure, but our new pillager captain is secured away, and yeah. All right, pillager has been added. let's work on the parrots next. So this is my current parrot stall, and we have the 5 colors of parrots. The only problem is they are tamed parrots, and I'd really like it if they flew around. So we're going to take these guys out and replace with some wild parrots. Okay, we will unsit them, and they should then start teleporting, so I'll just go up a bit. They will teleport to us. And we can, there you go. Okay, sit. Sit, sit, sit. I'll move them somewhere later. That's good enough for now. These 5 are wild. So let us take them downstairs. I'll have to catch them all. Come here. Let's pick up the leads. All 5 in tow. Come on down. And, alright. Come on into your new home. Well, this should be fun. That was easier than I expected. So I think I'll have a little bit more life to this stall now, with them flying around and landing on different surfaces. Alright, parrots done. 3 tasks left. Let's go bottom to top. So let's add the switch to the charge creeper, and let me explain what that means. So this is my charge creeper stall. And yeah, that was a bit crazy doing that, but I had some fun. But I have regrets. And my regrets are not placing a few switches or buttons down before I put the charge creepers in there. And I must have a death wish because I'm going to try it now with the creepers in there. Now, I'm not going to lie, or I'm going to be fully transparent. Before I start this task, I am going to take a backup of my world. And if this goes south, I will be restoring that backup. I'm just trying to satisfy my OCD here. I'm not trying to prove any of my skill level, sneaking a button or a switch in there. Just trying to satisfy the OCD. So, let's give it a go. Alright, backup taken. Get some invisibility on. I'm going to wear a creeper head. Apparently that helps disguise you and get closer to creepers that way. I don't know if it works with charge creepers, but every little bit will help. So, I think I want the switch on that one. Or like a button on that one, and maybe another button on the ground. Alright, let's see. Step 1 was good. Alright. Step 2, okay. So 1 more button right there. I can reach that there, maybe. Lost the glass. There we go. Easy peasy. Satisfy the OCD. Is it strange that I now regret that I didn't blow up just to see what would happen? Alright, switch added to charge creeper. Next we need an invisible spider. That was a lot more difficult than it needed to be. That is the 5th invisible spider that I caught. And this one finally did not die. I had issues first getting it out of the spawner and then basically getting it in here without suffocating into a wall. But you can see it there. We have an invisible spider captured. Our final task is building some stalls for the happy ghasts. Now, the regular ghasts take up 8 stalls within the ark. I don't have another 8 stalls to give to the happy ghasts. So this will be our first instance where we use the top deck. Basically, I built a structure on top after I was done collecting all the animals. This was kind of just extra space. And we're going to need it today. So basically the idea is I'm going to build happy ghast stalls here, but basically you can ride the happy ghast out this wall. So there'll be like an opening, and they'll come into this space here and kind of dock. Similar to my happy ghast docking station at my keep. So yeah, let's get started. All right, we have our 2 new happy ghasts and 2 stalls to hold them. And I'll just demonstrate them here. So we come in, fly straight in. Oh, maybe a little down, straight in. Can hop off, and there's, oops, a little bit further maybe. There we go. Close those gates, and basically they are now secured in the stall. And basically we have a ladder here. We can access either one of them. Yeah. So this represents like the first usable mob of my ark. I actually anticipate that in the future, when new mobs are added, I can use these to go fetch a mob from the world and bring it back to the ark. And now the task board is complete. We have our happy ghasts, but there is one more task we need to do before finishing this video. And that is moving our little copper golem with the poppy. So this should be interesting. I'm hoping he is just attracted to the chests. So if I lay a chest out here and I take that one away, go right up with that bale. Perfect. Go join your friends, little buddy. There we go. Copper golem's complete. Well, that's the end of the video. My ark is complete and updated, at least until the next Minecraft update. I hope you enjoyed the video. I'm a relatively new content creator, so any interaction you take with this video, liking it, commenting, sharing, is a massive help to me, and I do appreciate it. And if you'd like to see more of my Forever World, please subscribe. Until next time, we'll see ya.